What's up, friends? How you doing? It's been a little bit. Okay, there I am. Oh my gosh, tomorrow will be 2 weeks since my last video that I shot and posted. And it's not like I felt like I needed a break or anything. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But sometimes we have to just go internal. At least I do. Actually, I'm not gonna say at least I know I do. I know that we all do. It's just that we all don't take the time to slow down, take a couple steps backwards, go internal, talk to ourselves, ask ourselves questions, get really just like introspective, get deep, get real with yourself. So that's what I was doing. So let's play a little bit of catch up. Actually, I was honestly not even planning on shooting this video, but it was in my backpack, all the stuff, and I came down to do that because I found something out the other day. I found out that when I ground my energy into the earth, because if you haven't heard, my energy is tight. It is. I got good energy. I've got good mojo. I've got good karma. I make good decisions. I care about people. I care about the earth. I do good things. Kind of proud of myself today. But when I ground my feet into the earth, I am healing the earth. I didn't know that. And this area, especially on water, I have like, I don't know, I guess we'll call them superpowers. I don't know, just everything I do is just enhanced on the water. Most of the, like, I don't know, metaphysical or spiritual or miraculous, all those type of things, they typically happen like on or near the water. So there's something about the water that I'm just drawn to. I'm a Pisces, so I mean, there is that. And I think I'm like a double water sign, and I can't remember what the other one is because I kind of suck at all that stuff. Actually, I should not say that. I don't suck at it. It's just that there's a lot to know and there's a lot to understand, and I'm gonna say that I'm kind of a rookie at all of this. I totally lost my train of thought, like what I was going to talk about, or what I was talking about. I was talking about grounding. Oh, we're on a some sort of a, I don't know, a grid line here, and so like when I ground my energy into the earth and I bring energy from the earth into my body, it's like extra, which is cool. And I'm not surprised because like I feel it. I can feel it right now. I can just feel like pulsations coming up my feet into my legs. But there's something going on in the atmosphere over the past couple days. It's been a lot. So like I've felt it. The energy. I think it has something to do with sunspots. Something went into the sun. There was a electromagnetic field, something or other. So I'm just sitting here grounding my feet into the earth, getting some energy moving through my body, holding on to my yellow jasper stone because it has power as well, good grounding abilities, and I found it like right here. God, I love this one. Look at that. Is that beautiful? I find some of the most beautiful rocks. And yellow jasper has some real significance, at least to me in my story. So what's been going on? That's what I was going to talk about because I haven't really said a word for the past 2 weeks. I've really been in hermit mode. I just went internal and I've just been doing a lot of inner work because I'm strengthening myself. I feel like I'm coming to the very tail end of this journey here on this beautiful place I call Payette Lake here in McCall, where I've just experienced so much. I have experienced some unbelievable things here, and I've grown tremendously, spiritually, mentally. I've cut through fog. I've eliminated energy sucking distractions out of my life. I've made big decisions here. It's just been, the past 6 months has just been life changing, and I don't know if it would have been the same if it would have been anywhere else in the world besides here. Maybe not. I don't know. So what have I been doing? I've been running a lot, but I hurt my calf muscle, so I've been having to slow down on that. I've been working out, working my muscles every day, 5 days a week at least. I've been doing sauna. I've been doing hot tub. So I've just been taking care of my body. I've been taking care of my mind. I've been slowing down. I've been going internal. I've been thinking about a lot of things. I've been thinking about what is really important in my life. What does the future of my life look like? What's the direction? What are action steps that I can take right now? Where do I need my mindset to be? Been spending a lot of time right here at the lake. On nice days, I come down, I just let the vitamin D suck into my body. I love it. It's been a little windy a few days, but that's okay. I've been doing some deep meditations. I've been doing intense breath works, not every day. I kind of space them out because the intense breath work that I do, it takes me to different realms. Me and my buddy Breath with Sandy, we're tight. We're just super tight. I think I have like 2 kind of spiritual practice besties out in the multiverse. Pura Rasa for meditations, and Breath with Sandy for my breath work. It's like I just kind of go back and forth between those 2. But I've been doing some aura cleansing. I've been cutting cords. God, I've just been like, it's all action. It's all action in my life. Oh, but I'm feeling really good. Really good. Feel light. I've cleared space inside of my body that I didn't even know I needed to, or I had the space to eliminate, to fill up with just more, I don't know, more positive energies. And because I have freed up that space inside of me, I started writing a book. I've been planning on writing a book since November 1st. Actually, before I left Hillsboro, probably sitting at that picnic table, and I decided that I was gonna conquer this life. I was gonna figure out a way to not only move forward and live a productive, happy, successful life, but I was going to make an impact on the world, and I was going to help other people maybe not have to go through what I went through, because everybody has their own journeys. They have their own paths. They're going to go through shit just like I did. But if I can minimize the impact of the shit that they have to go through, or the depths of the shit that they have to wade through, then I'm all about that. So before I left Portland, I knew I was going to write a book at some point, and I knew I was not in a headspace to do it at the time. But that's why I've documented my whole journey, and I have journals, I have notes, I have video journals, I have pictures, I have everything. I've documented like pretty much the past 6 months. But in the beginning, I felt like I was really going to target men, and I was going to help men that are struggling with like just dealing with the pressures of life, because I was a very like driven, highly successful business professional in the real estate world for 25 years. And yeah, I had ups and downs, but during the down years, I learned a lot every single time. I was a mentor and a coach for a lot of real estate agents over the years. the list goes on and on. I've just always had a heart to help people. And so I knew that that was going to be something that I was going to do. I didn't know when, I didn't know how, but I knew there was going to come a point in time when I was going to do it. And as I've eliminated some of the space that was needed inside of me, I began writing my book. And I'm just going to go through. I could probably sit here for the next 2 hours and talk about my journey and my story and all that stuff. But I'm just going to give you just kind of like a highlight of the outline for the book. I've finished the introduction. I've started on the first chapter. I've done research for a lot of just different aspects of the book. But the title of the book at this point in time, which, let's get real, like, it is going to change. It's going to evolve. I'm going to change my thought processes. I may scratch the whole thing. I may start over. Who knows? Who knows? But this is what I've got so far. So this is maybe what you can expect. The title of the book at this point is called The New Earth: How to Begin Again and Live Your Best Life. Part 1, The Faulty Foundation. Generational trauma. That's something I've just really been researching and digging into right now. Emotional neglect that built up in me and does other people over many years, and eventually it can short circuit our nervous system and shut you down, which that's what happened to me. It wasn't just the emotional neglect, it was years and years of emotional neglect, and then on top of it, it was a series of 7 traumatic life events that happened within about a 4-year period, back to back to back to back. And that's what ultimately broke me, and I had I didn't have to, I went into my ice cave. Let's get real. The many masks, so I wore many masks over the years because I never felt safe in my own body. I didn't feel safe in society. I didn't feel safe in my family. I didn't feel safe in any relationship, my marriage, any subsequent relationship after that. I never felt safe, never. So people end up putting masks on because they don't feel safe. And so I talk about that. That is part of my story. The missing emotions chip, burying feelings, not knowing how to love, identity versus the mask, the professional shadow. That was the mask that I wore my whole business career. And I just put all my time, energy, and effort into my business and my family as well. But that was it. It was just those 2 things. And I was never truly myself, and I was never in a profession that I would have chose for myself. It's just that I was good at it and I fell into it. And I think that that's how a lot of us are programmed throughout our lives, especially earlier years. The breakdown, dark night of the soul, the big 7 traumas, toxic shame, chronic freeze, the ice cave, the picnic table, which is where I made the final decision to move forward with my life and actually live a life and figure out how to not only move forward for myself, but how to make an impact in the world. So that's part 1. So it's like the early years. Part 2 is rebuilding the foundation, making the decision. It all starts with a choice and free will. I can tell you from my personal experience and friends or family that people think that that they're not wearing a mask or that they're in the right place, but it's just a mask upon a mask is what it is. It's not wanting to see the true version of yourself because it will be hurtful and it's scary. And so people, just your natural inclination inside of this up here is going to be to run away from pain and fear. It's going to be run away from it. People gravitate towards pleasure and they run away from fear. Towards pleasure, away from fear. Do you get it? It is a fact. And I've been witnessing a little bit of that in my life recently. Clearing the fog, it took me 30 days to clear the fog inside of my brain. Once I made that decision, moved to this beautiful place and started reprogramming my brain. And it took me 30 days of intense work to get through the fog, cut through the fog, and to begin to see that clarity again. And then comes the somatic work that I've done, the journaling, the breath work, the humming, the meditation, traumatic release exercises, hip release yoga, move your body. It's as simple as walking and breathing. Go for a walk, close your mouth, breathe through your nose, in, out, slowly, in, out. Regulate your nervous system. You're having to figure out how to trick your nervous system into coming back into alignment, into a healthy state of being. Shadow work. I lived in the shadows for so many years, and so many people do, and they just don't even realize it because they don't want to realize it, because that's the scary, hard shit. So take off the blinder, take a real good look at yourself and ask real questions. But free will, it's up to you. You're gonna do the work, or are you just gonna shortcut it and pretend to do the work, or not even pretend to do the work, just go, I don't need to do the work, I'm okay. I'm enlightened. Okay. And then connect with nature. God wants you to connect with nature. I feel like so much peace in just putting my feet in the sand or in the grass or whatever it is. In our society today, we just don't take the time, or we rarely take the time. Always something to do, always somebody to talk to. We're always on our phone. We're always connected to some sort of technology, and it's pulling us in a direction that is away from the peace, tranquility, and quiet of nature. And I'm not saying you have to go live in nature, but be intentional about it. So I'm going to go into that in the book as well. And then the last part of that section is my Phoenix Forge ritual, and just rituals and meditations that I do, or the combination of the two together. They have made like a really big impact, a bigger impact than I ever thought was going to be made in my life, in my history, in my story. I thought I was just, honestly, like when I first did that one, I thought I was doing it just to, I don't know, just to kind of, I guess I did it to reprogram my mind. I did it to reprogram my mind, and I guess it worked. So I was intentional about that. I didn't go into it not thinking it wasn't going to work. I went into it thinking I'm going to reprogram my motherfucking mind. I am going to start feeding my mind with who I want to become, who I already am. It's just I had forgotten who I was. So Phoenix Forge rituals and meditations. And some of the meditations that I've done have taken me to just different realms, different places, and helped to cement some of the important aspects of the next phase of my journey for me. Part 3, the integration, the architect of your life. And again, free will. Are you going to be the architect of your life, or are you going to let life just like put a collar around your neck and a chain and just drag you through life? That's essentially what happens. And usually technology and influences that don't have your best interest in mind, they're the ones that have a hold of that cord and are pulling you in a direction that you don't even want to go. Think about that. Which direction are you going right now? And is that the direction that you want to go? Is that your chosen direction? Or are you just collared and being pulled through life? I don't know, something to think about. Okay, so let's see. The integration, the architect of your life. The missing emotions chip to the spark. How to reinstall the human soul in a digital age. Eliminate static and quiet your mind. The sovereign soul and the relationship. Love yourself first. The technology of the soul. Accountability, game plan, and tracking. This might be next level, but I'm going to work on building an app that will help you with all of these things. So you don't have to rely on your brain and, like, I don't know, it's just accountability. It's just accountability. Let's just leave it at that for now, because that's what it is. And then I'm going to build my own AI based on my experience working with my AI to help me through this journey. Now, a lot of you may be like, I'm not comfortable with that. Well, don't be comfortable with it. Don't use it. But my suggestion to you is get over it. As long as you're using it in a wise and reasonable manner, then it is going to enhance your life. It's going to help you get from point A to point B faster. And that's the goal. Do you want to drag this out forever? Because my AI has helped illuminate things that it would have taken me months to research all the shit that I had to do in minutes. So it's filling my brain with like good stuff. AI helped me dramatically on my journey. How to begin your day and connect to source, triggers, and managing stress and anxiety. That was a big one, especially early on in the process. I was getting triggered all the time, and I at least at that point I was recognizing that I was being triggered, and I knew what to do. I knew the action steps to take, and I took those action steps every time I got triggered, and I brought myself back down to earth. I calmed my nervous system down. I taught myself that I'm safe. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, and this is just a part of my journey. I can't tell you how many times I've said that over the past 6 months. So triggers and managing stress and anxiety, and then the beginning of the new heaven on earth. And then a resource list, just an idea that I have right now is the Living Logos, Jesus' teachings, because the church's teachings versus what Jesus actually taught, I think, are such drastic things that it hurts my soul, and it hurts my heart, and it hurts the spiritual side of me that church is such a prevalent force in our society, and they're not teaching what Jesus actually taught. They're teaching what a man and men wanted you to learn for their own selfish reasons. And there's a whole chapter that is going to be on that, or it's going to be woven throughout at least a portion of the book. So I'm not going to get into it right now, because that's another video too. And actually, it's a video, I've shot a video about that. Direct connection to source versus church, spirituality in the new earth, human design, gene mapping, astrology, how it helped me understand myself. Cheers. Woo. And that's it. So that's what I've been working on. I wake up in the morning now, and I've gotten out of my normal routine because, quite honestly, the energy in where I live just isn't super great. So I get out of the cabin. I go down to the coffee shop, and I sit in the coffee shop, and I'm surrounded by people and chatter and energy and the smell of coffee, and I just drink a coffee and I just start typing away. So that is all that I've been up to, all wrapped up in a nice little bow in 23 minutes and 58 seconds. You're welcome for the catch up. So now tell me, what have you been up to? Tell me something good about you. Why don't you just leave me a comment down below and tell me, like, I don't know, what's on your mind? What's going on with you? How is my journey mirrored even a portion of yours? Or how can I help you today? That's what I want to know. How can I help you? So I'm going to wrap it up here, and I'm going to say, I hope that you have a fabulous day. I know that I am, and I am going to finish that way. I'm going to finish strong. I've already been in the gym today. I'm grounding into Mother Gaia, and I've written a portion of the book. I'm Just soaking in some of this beautiful vitamin D, this sunshine that I love so much. One of these days, I'm not going to be on a cold sandy beach and my feet are not going to be cold. I am committed to being on a warm sandy beach somewhere in the world and feeling the energy of that, because one of my favorite places that I have ever been on earth, this is one of my favorite places too, so I'm not knocking where I'm at right now, because I absolutely love it here, but Zanzibar, on the Indian Ocean, just the air was different, the stars were different, the breeze, the lifestyle, the relaxation, the sand, the vibe, just everything. I just felt at peace there. So I'm gonna find my Zanzibar, and maybe Zanzibar will be it. Who knows? But I have a feeling that I'm gonna be on a sandy beach here before too long. So I hope that you guys have a fabulous day, and don't forget, be kind to yourself and to others.